Okay, so this week I guess we're talking about trash talking experiences and drawing on your own experience and the experience of other athletes. Collect examples of trash talk. What does it consist of? When does it take place, and in which sports, especially? So, I guess I separated it first into my own experience. So I played soccer for a while, and the I guess the like trash talk event that most jumps out at me was in high school. I had an Asian American friend who was on my team, and we were playing against this one team, and one of the players told him to I don't know, it was something like go eat a bowl of rice or something like that, just something blatantly racist that was meant to fire up my teammate, and so my Asian American teammate didn't really respond to it. He just shrugged it off. Whereas another one of my teammates just sort of ran in and bulldozed the guy. So uh, in terms of different like the Lecanto and Roth trash talk principles or informal rules. So don't let other teams see trash talk get to you. So apparently, you're not supposed to let trash talk get to you. My teammate who ran in and shoved the guy did not follow that rule, but I think it was probably worth it in his opinion. Um, Whereas my other friend, who was actually the object of these insults, didn't let the trash talk get to him, which is so I guess he was following the rule in that sense. That he just ignored it, and that might be because he has a different temperament than the guy that responded by shoving him, or he's used to that sort of bigotry. I'm not really sure, but it could be any number of reasons. Don't let the referee hear you complain about a person talking trash. Let's see. What was the other one? Oh yeah, it was talk has to be creative to get attention, which, in my opinion, go eat a bowl of rice is not very creative. Pretty low hanging fruit. So not all of the rules, these informal rules, were respected in this exchange. But since they're informal and not hard and fast, I can see why. Additionally, in competitive esports or video games, usually since you're in person, like playing next to someone else on the same screen, trash talk isn't that prevalent at tournaments. Since you're kind of like you you can't like run away from that. Like you can't say something and then trot away. You have to stay there and be like, you know, you smell bad, and then just sort of sit there. And they're like, okay, do you want to like play the game now? So it's kind of harder to talk trash when you're stuck with the person because I don't know, it just comes off as kind of a jerk move, like something just blatantly mean and not really funny. Whereas online, like on different forums or Facebook pages, it's a lot like a lot of people say, oh, I could totally beat you, money match me. That is like put money on a game between you and me. I'll show you that I'm better than you, that sort of thing. And in that case, I think trash talk. It says talk has to be creative to get attention. I think trash talk is a lot more creative online because people have the opportunity to think about what they're going to say, and dig through the person's Facebook profile for dirt on them so that they can come up with something clever to say. Um, let's see. So then I asked a couple of other people what they found. I have a friend who plays hockey or played hockey for all of high school and middle school, and he said that he played on a traveling team, and he would talk about how trash talking was not only encouraged but even endorsed by his coaches. And so all the players sitting on the bench, all the people on the ice, would be encouraged to talk trash about the other team, about different subjects like the quality of the other team's play, but also like personal insults about that person's family members. For example, it says, don't talk trash about other people's mamas or girlfriends, but I'm sure that was violated several times. Um, Also, misogyny and homophobia apparently permeated the sport. Uh, that sort of like the sort of languages that, or the sort of language that involves, or that involves or encourages misogyny and homophobia was used a lot. So in that case, it says, let's see, don't let the referee hear you complain about a person talking trash. Yeah, he said that this was really true and that the referees don't have very much pity for someone. Oh, he said something really mean about me. I think they're more concerned with like people beating the daylights out of each other. So, yeah, in that case, I would definitely agree with this informal rule where it says, don't let the referee hear you complaining about it because they have bigger problems to worry about apparently, according to them. And if you make a good play, you have the right to talk trash. He mentioned that um, don't talk trash while losing. If you make a good play, so those kind of go hand in hand. If you're winning and making good plays, it's a lot easier to talk trash. Whereas, if you just got like destroyed in a game, it's pretty hard to just be like, oh, we're still better than you because you just got just trashed. And then lastly, I asked, my girlfriend used to play League of Legends online, which was like just an online, it's called, I think, a multiplayer online battle arena. So it's just a video game online and you can chat with each other in it. And she was saying that a lot of, like, this is sort of the barrier to entry for video games for women, is that there's a lot of misogynistic language that's used, people being targeted based on their like assumed gender based on the person's name. For example, if my gamer tag is Stacy, then people will probably assume that I'm a girl and go after me for that because just like we were talking about, or just like the lecture was talking about how a lot of sports commentators will talk about women being less skilled at a sport. I guess that also happens in online video games where people will use a person's gender to justify why they think that person's doing poorly in the game, in the gameplay. As for the informal rules, don't take it off the field. In this case, it's not an in-person thing, it's a text-based thing. So, again, like the Facebook post that I was talking about, it's a lot easier to come up with creative trash talk to get attention, because you have time to think about what you're going to say. Obviously, a lot of these don't apply to online interactions because don't let trash talk result in a fight. It's pretty hard to fight someone if they're 200 miles away. Don't let the referee hear you complain about a person talking trash. There is no referee. But one that does hold true is don't talk trash while losing, and if you make a good play, you have the right to talk trash. I think that's pretty universal in every competitive domain, is being able to talk trash if you're winning.